Rob's Tesla was attacked by an unhinged man with a hammer. Let's start from the beginning. Rob was getting a haircut in Berkeley, California, and had parked his white Model Y on the street right outside the barber shop. Sentry mode began recording when a white Dodge pickup pulled up and stopped next to Rob's Tesla. Without provocation, a man with a hammer jumped out and proceeded to smash out both windows on the driver's side. He then jumped back in the pickup and peeled out. The whole thing happened in around 10 seconds, leading us to believe this was definitely a targeted act of vandalism. Rob told us he's never seen the guy before and he had no previous interactions with him. No road rage, no nothing. Sadly, his Sentry mode footage didn't capture the pickup's license plate number. That means Rob is now stuck paying a $1,000 deductible to get the windows repaired. He wanted to shout out his barber at Designer Cuts in Berkeley, who helped him clean up the broken glass so he could drive home. Talk about customer service. Michael was on his way home and driving down a San Diego highway when he approached an intersection. As he proceeded through his green light, the drunk driver of a Honda ran their red light. The two vehicles collided, sending Michael's Tesla careening off the road and into an electrical box. Michael safely exited his vehicle before laying down in shock. After paramedics checked him out, he spoke with responding police officers. Michael was taken to the hospital in an ambulance for seatbelt bruises, but once he was there, he realized he'd forgotten his wallet in his Tesla. He immediately sent word back to the scene, but his wallet was nowhere to be found. Someone had stolen it from the wreckage. Stealing a wallet from someone who'd just been taken away in an ambulance? That's a new low. Some people have no shame. Michael's Tesla was totaled, but the insurance claim process took so long he had to hire a personal injury lawyer to get it sorted out. The lawyer got him an expedited payout after a few more months, and he used the settlement to purchase a new Model Y. Kelvin was driving down Highway 10 in Walnut, California when he watched a small pickup merge into the carpool lane. Don't underestimate what the right driver can accomplish with a small vehicle. That small pickup was about to crash head-on into the larger pickup on its right. Yes, you heard that right, head-on. 60 seconds after the pickup got into the carpool lane, traffic ahead began slowing down, which the driver evidently didn't notice until it was too late. He slammed on the brakes, causing his pickup to spin completely around and into the neighboring lane, where it struck the larger Chevy head-on. Well, that collision made us apply our hands directly to our foreheads. Kelvin told us the airbags deployed and everyone involved seemed okay, but he wasn't able to stay on the busy highway. Walmart greeter parked his Cybertruck to get some coffee in Kirkland, Washington, when some guy walked up and keyed his stainless steel pickup truck. When our submitter returned to his pickup and discovered the scratch and this video, he went looking for the guy in the blue shorts, but he was nowhere to be found. That's where you come in. Walmart greeter is hoping our fans can help him identify the vandal so he can be held responsible for the damage he caused and hopefully stopped from doing anything like this again. Please contact us if you recognize him and we'll make sure the information gets forwarded to the authorities. Christopher approached a red light just outside of London, and when the light turned green, a BMW driver tried to race him off the line. The BMW driver intentionally turned into the side of Christopher's Tesla, sandwiching himself between it and another vehicle. Christopher angrily punched his steering wheel, which prompted his smartwatch to call the police. They arrived just 2 minutes later. What was the BMW driver's excuse for this behavior? According to Christopher, he said he'd been late for an appointment. Dave was heading to the movies on a Saturday night when a black Mercedes SUV pulled out of a gas station parking lot. The Mercedes crossed 3 lanes of traffic, cutting right in front of Dave. Dave slammed on the brakes, laid on the horn, and swerved all the way to the leftmost lane, but the Mercedes still collided with his Tesla's front wheel. Thankfully, Dave's Tesla steered him away from the curb, preventing any damage to the driver's side. Without this maneuver, Dave thinks his car would have been totaled. He immediately contacted the police, and when they arrived, officers cited the other driver. Fixing Dave's Tesla cost $27,000 US. Dave was following behind an SUV when both drivers approached a red light, which the driver of the SUV evidently didn't notice. Dave pulled over and offered the SUV driver a copy of his Teslacam video. Dave said the driver of the SUV had been looking down at her phone while searching for a local sandwich shop when she ran the red light. Based on the existing damage to her SUV, it looks like this isn't the first time she's made that mistake. Maybe she should be watching the road rather than her phone. Dominic was driving in slow traffic on his way to work when Dominic stopped and spoke to the Honda driver, who accepted responsibility and shared her information without any hassle. That's a silver lining, I suppose. Jonathan was parked outside his girlfriend's apartment when 4 people in a stolen Hyundai were being chased by the police, and Jonathan's Tesla ended the pursuit. He actually didn't realize what had happened until his girlfriend got a news notification on her phone about a red Tesla being struck during a police pursuit. She asked him, "That can't be yours, right?" Jonathan checked his own phone and found a notification that his alarm had been triggered, then ran outside to discover 4 cop cars. A vehicle parked behind his had also been struck, and its owner was there too. Jonathan told us that while it was painful to have his first Tesla get wrecked, he was excited to replace it with this new Model Y. He even got to transfer his FSD purchase. Eddie had parked his Model Y in his apartment complex's locked underground parking garage when a prowler managed to break in. The burglar scouted multiple vehicles before deciding to make his move on Eddie's Tesla. After smashing a rear window, he climbed inside the Model Y by using another one as a ladder. How much damage is this one jerk gonna cause? Sadly, Eddie's MacBook and AirPods were both stolen from his car. When Eddie got a notification on his phone about the break-in, he immediately called the police. They told him this crime is a felony, but with active protests going on elsewhere, it would be a while before any officers could respond. Eddie's hoping our viewers can help him find out who broke into his car. This happened in downtown Long Beach, and he'd appreciate any help that you can provide. Breezy was driving home down a highway when he noticed the driver of a gold SUV shouting at the driver of a Nissan pickup. The SUV driver seemed irritated before he lashed out, hitting the other vehicle with his hand. The other vehicle drove off with the SUV chasing after it. He tried to block it in before they both raced off again. The pickup made an evasive maneuver into a parking lot, but the SUV driver made a sharp turn and followed after it. Breezy's Teslacam didn't capture what happened next, but Breezy told us it was crazy. Evidently, the SUV driver caught up to the pickup and rammed it in the gas station parking lot. He then got out and jumped on the hood. Breezy immediately called 911 and was told that police officers would respond. Bale was waiting at a traffic light when a total stranger driving a Volvo flipped him off for no reason. Bale told us he has no idea who this is, but he just thought it was funny. This is the first time this has happened to him while driving his Cybertruck. He told us he loves his pickup truck and doesn't want to involve politics in his choice of vehicle. Bale said the most important thing to him is to enjoy the present moment, something that lady didn't seem like she was doing. Cybertruck was driving across some railroad tracks with full self-driving engaged when a driver ahead pulled over to the side to make a U-turn. He waited for traffic to clear, but just as Cybertruck was about to pass, he turned in front of his Model Y. FSD slammed on the brakes, and the Tesla came within 3 or 4 feet of hitting the SUV. The other driver waved apologetically before continuing his U-turn. Cybertruck told us he was a little scared, but not compared to his 84-year-old mother in the back seat. He's hopeful this incident may convince her to get a Tesla. AVS was driving his brand new Model Y down Oak Tree Road after picking up his younger sibling, when the driver of a Ford Explorer suddenly merged into his lane without signaling. With the BMW X3 nearby and a truck waiting to turn, AVS had to swerve multiple times to avoid hitting any other vehicles. Tires squealed and things got sketchy fast, but thanks to his Tesla's handling, any collision was avoided. AVS's quick reaction and his Tesla's low center of gravity definitely kept this situation from getting ugly. Kyle was driving through a neighborhood when he encountered 3 people on e-bikes doing wheelies down the middle of the road. As he slowed down a safe distance behind them, they moved over to the wrong side of the street and stopped. He cautiously moved past them only after they'd each come to a complete stop and put their feet down on the ground. Once he'd passed them, Kyle noticed in his rearview mirror that they were speeding up behind him, still on the wrong side of the road and following far too closely. Kyle came to a full stop at the next stop sign. He began to roll down his window to address their unsafe behavior when one of them spat at him before he could even say anything. The spitter rode away, but the other 2 cyclists stopped briefly. Kyle told them that what their friend did was unacceptable and asked for his name. He's pretty sure the name they gave him was made up. Kyle told them that his Cybertruck's cameras had recorded the whole thing and he was planning to have a word with the spitter's parents. We've blurred his face since he's pretty obviously a minor, so we won't be asking you to help us identify him. Let's just hope his parents are Wham Baam fans and maybe they can still recognize their own son. Have a great summer, everyone. We'll be taking a short break here on Wham Baam Teslacam, but we'll post some best of videos in the meantime and be back with fresh episodes in August.